Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having an amazing day. So, today I've been thinking about onboarding training. And the reason I've been doing this is we've got a new team member joining our tutoring team. And to give you a bit of context, our tutoring team right now is managed by me. And there are 7 tutors, and it's becoming a point where I'm putting a lot of time into that. And I can't do that and also run the business. So we've implemented some lead tutors whose job is going to be to look after kind of little pods of tutors themselves. And part of that role is onboarding lead tutors as well. So what I've been doing today is creating an onboarding training for the lead tutors to be able to help onboard their own team members, essentially, so that I don't have to be involved in it. So it just got me thinking about what actually makes a good onboarding. And I thought I'd share that because it helps me process it and do it well, essentially. So the first thing I've been thinking about is in every communication during the onboarding process is setting expectations of what's required and what's next. So, for example, when I send out an email and say you need to kind of turn up with this ready, I say everything in the email and then I put a summary at the end of saying, okay, here's what you need to do. Because let's face it, when you give somebody a whole big chunk of information, sometimes it can be a lot and they won't necessarily take the little pinpoints of what you want from it. So that's the first thing that I've been doing. I've found that works really well. The same with calls. At the end of your call, say, right, this is what I need you to do before the next time I see you, which is going to be on this day at this time where we're going to do this thing. So it's just about managing expectations of and being very clear with communication of what needs to happen by when and in what way, essentially. The second thing that I've been doing or that I find very helpful is setting the expectation that like onboarding is hard. You're learning new stuff constantly. And especially when you come into a new role, everything is new and nobody can just remember everything that they need to know off the bat. And so letting people know that it's okay to not come in and memorize and remember everything perfectly from day one, but also letting them know that it's probably going to be overwhelming to try and remember everything. And that again, expect that, prepare for that, know that it's going to be a full-on week of learning new things, but that's expected and that it's okay. And every week they're on is going to get better. The final thing, and this is something that I've put into the trainings, but I implement myself as well. And it sounds so silly. And if you're not a founder, you're probably going to be like, yeah, obviously. But perhaps as a founder yourself, you might be like, I can really see where you're coming from with this. Is if you're doing onboarding calls and you're spending a lot of time with somebody, training them, giving them a lot of information in one go, make sure you take breaks and force them to take breaks as well. Now, I'm saying this from a point of, as a founder, you will have worked 8, 12, 14, 16-hour days sometimes. And that kind of becomes your normal occasionally. You'll go through those periods. But you also forget that other people aren't used to doing that and sometimes don't have the capacity to do that. So if you try and get them to do a super long onboarding call, first of all, it's hard to take everything in after a certain amount of time, but also they'll get bored, they get tired, they get really overwhelmed. So just having that reminder in there of like, okay, for me, I'll do max an hour before I say, right, take 5 minutes, go get a drink, pop to the toilet, whatever you need to do, and then we'll carry on. But having those little reminders in there, I think, is really important. So that's what I've been thinking about. But let me know if there's anything else that you think makes a good onboarding call/situation.